Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am the stepson of Krypton,
And I'm Mantis.
and this is You, Me, and DC. Now, today we have kind of a treat for at least me. I don't know if it will be for everybody else, but we are actually going to be watching something that I have not seen. So this will actually be a first-time reaction to Amazon Prime's Rings of Power. Mantis, now, have you seen this one?
I have seen this series, yes. I'm going to reserve my public opinion uh, on this one. And I mean, we've discussed this off show, but um, I'm going to refrain from any details of the series, and just because I want to see again. This is the first one we've done that you haven't seen, so I'll be interested to see what you think. But I do feel like we need to preface it just a little bit on your knowledge of Tolkien's work. So, like, what do you know about the Lord of the Rings? Like, have you read the books? Have you seen the movies? What do you know about it?
So I've seen the original trilogy, the original Fellowship of the Rings, Two Towers, Return of the King, and all of that. When I was a kid, and I won't say how long ago that was, a long time ago, I read the original Hobbit book. So
Okay.
massive.
Now,
I've
have
not
you
seen
seen the
the
movies?
I've not seen the new trilogy, or
Okay.
is it a
Now,
trilogy? I
yeah,
think
yeah.
there's at least three. I've
There's
not seen
there's
any of
always
those.
trilogies. There's always trilogies. I will say we should definitely watch the new movies because I kind of differ from a lot of people on those. There's a lot of people that do not like the new trilogy, the Hobbit movies, um, and there are parts of it I do dislike. But overall, it kind of is in the same spirit of the original Peter Jackson adaptation trilogy, and I enjoy them as entertainment. It's good. It's not one-to-one adaptation of the book that you read that you're familiar with. However, um, it's still good in my opinion, and I know a lot of people disagree with that, but I find it enjoyable. But again, it it's going to be interesting to see. This show is geared towards people that maybe are more familiar with what's like the I don't call it a prequel era of Lord of the Rings, but it is kind of the prefaces of the story that Amazon had bought the rights to produce this show. So yeah, I can't wait to see it.
So, in far as timeline, where does this sit with the movies? Because I know
Um,
nothing about this series.
Yeah, so this is if you want to think of it like prequel type of stuff, it is to the Lord of the Rings books and movies. And people will have to. I'm sure they can comment down in the comments about this because I'm sure there's people that know. They definitely know way more than I do on this subject. But I'm pretty sure this is the second age. It's not the third age, which is what the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings is. This would be classified as the second age, I believe. Let us know in the comments if I'm completely wrong about that. But it's before the events of Lord of the Rings. Um, so but it does include some characters that you may be familiar with, and some that you won't.
Is Gandalf in it, or do you not want to spoil it?
I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil the spoiled meat that you're about to watch.
I don't know how to take
So,
that. So, but I'm excited to finally be watching something that it's been a while. Seeing something new that, like, you've seen that I haven't, because usually I'm caught up on
mhm.
everything. And eventually on the channel we will watch something that neither of us have seen.
Possibly, maybe,
Can't
who
say when
knows?
that'll be, or what it could be, something. But
I mean,
eventually I'll find something.
some of the new Marvel stuff for sure because I haven't watched any of that trash shit yet, so I can't wait to watch that.
I haven't seen the new Ant-Man. Um,
Me neither.
I haven't seen this second Black Panther. Well, to be fair, I haven't seen either of the Black Panther
Me,
movies.
I haven't either.
Um,
So we can watch those. It should
yeah.
be interesting.
I definitely like to at least see the first one. I haven't
Mhm.
heard the greatest things about the second one, so
Yeah, me neither. I heard the first one was pretty good, but never watched it.
it's just because I didn't like where it just kind of everything was the timeline of like with Captain Marvel's release, everything was getting all kind of screwy. So I was like, just stick to the
Yeah.
main movies, the Avengers and all that stuff. But that would be something that we both haven't seen. That'd be good to watch for every Marvel fan out there, just to show that we're not about DC content. So.
Yeah.
Um,
Some of my favorite characters are Marvel too. Like I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man, aside from X-Men, maybe my favorite comic that they put out. Like it really is. It's good. Or
Well, I
well, it
mean,
used to
and if
be.
you think about it, other than like, I know you had Blade and you had some obscure
Oh, Blade's so
movie.
good too.
It was so good,
It's
but you had some
so
of
good.
those. But realistically, all of this superhero age in film really began with X-Men and Spider-Man in 2000 and 2001. The original
God,
X-Men released in 2000. Then
20 years
Spider-Man,
ago.
Spider-Man was in
It's fucking 20 years
2001.
ago.
Yeah, right. I mean,
It's
it's crazy to
I'm
think about, but.
it's just yeah, because I rewatched the first half of Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, a couple weeks ago, and it's funny because it's like if you took like a comic book and put it into a movie, like that's what that movie is. It's goofy and like it's not really, I wouldn't say cartoony, but it's like I don't know how else to explain it. Like the action sequences are very cartoony-ish, and like the camera angles are kind of, it reminds me of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers almost, and it's good. Like I like it. It's funny,
The
So
fight scene with him and Green Goblin at the end,
yes,
that was a very like cartoonish kind of just the way they
yeah,
were talking and the battle. Like that had a very cartoonish kind of, like I said, in a
yeah,
good way, not a bad way, but it was
yeah,
good.
yeah.
But it's
It's
definitely
like it's like
something
if
you expect
you
to see.
yeah, it's like if you literally took a comic book, how it's portrayed, like comic book reads, like it's like they just took pictures of that and made it into the fight scene movie. Like that's how I viewed it. And it like you were saying, it's 20 fucking years ago, man. Like it does bring me back.
22
Sadly,
years
it's
ago.
just been that fucking long. But well, we're getting way off tangent here.
Yeah, we're bad about that sometimes.
Yeah, we'll cut that.
It's just because we're passionate about what we watch. We love these movies.
Oh yeah.
Most.
Especially yeah, most of them.
So. All right. Well, I'm excited to get into this one, Mantis. Unless you have anything else, are you ready to go?
No. Yeah, if you got your barf bag next to you, make sure you bring that. You may need it on this bumpy fucking ride.
You're not setting me up for a good watch. Good thing this is not coffee. This is actually.
I mean,
booze.
like I said, I'm not going to go into details, but you know how I feel about this one. So, yeah,
well, let's see it. All right, here we go. Don't tell me she made a paper boat. This is what we're leading into.
Yeah, there's a clown at the end of this thing too.
Come here, Timmy.
Hey, Georgie.
Hiya, Georgie.
It's Neobolt Street. Run! Just in case you're wondering, origami was not in the original books.
I read, like I said, read The Hobbit. I don't remember any origami. And the sunker battleship.
I told you it wouldn't float.
Well, you threw a bunch of rocks at it.
Blade's gonna rust.
Ship, sister.
It's Elven Blade.
Do you know why a ship floats and a stone cannot?
It's actually water displacement according to mass, but okay.
Was the darkness as well? Striving
I'm sure that works too.
to master
Yep.
and pull her up. For unlike the stone, her gaze is not downward but up.
They were supposed to be intelligent.
The lights shine just as brightly reflected in the water as they do
I
in
know
the
it's
sky.
kind of he kind of
It's
talks
hard
like
to
Paul
say which
Mooney.
way is up and which way is down. Like to fall.
Insert Paul Mooney clip.
White people love Wayne Brady because he makes Brian Gumble look like Malcolm X.
So that's supposed to be Galadriel
The most important
from Lord of the Rings. Galadriel.
father.
And that's her second mom, I think. I'm not sure gender ideology in Elven world. I have no idea, but just assuming.
Aren't they? Aren't they immortal?
Well, so if they don't leave their homeland, yes.
We thought our light would never dim.
But then we didn't pay our power bill.
Great from Morgoth.
Did you forget to pay the power bill?
Very light of our home.
Realize what you've done. Darkness is spreading.
Darkness, everybody! Darkness is spreading!
And a legion of elves went to war. We left Valinor. Our home is Middle Earth. But the war left Middle Earth in ruin.
Okay, I was wrong. I think that's her brother, not her father.
Oh, what, the little girl?
Yeah, yeah,
And the dude, whatever his name was? Yeah, he said
yeah.
sister. Now, I don't know how far south this is. He could have been both. We don't know.
Now, we learned many words for death.
Well, what's one more helmet?
They called him Sauron. But Sauron found him first. And marked his flesh with a symbol.
It's his gang sign.
Yeah, it's tagging.
And there, in the darkness,
It's like a prison bitch.
his vow became mine.
Sauron abused him sexually.
The aliens abused him sexually.
But the trail grew thin.
These the birds?
Century gave way to century. And for many elves, the pain of those days.
Dude, fuck walking that. Like, fuck that.
One more of our kind began to believe that Sauron was but a memory.
Look, there's much easier ways to do that.
You would think.
And tomorrow begin the journey home.
You just climbed all the way up there.
I know.
Moonlight.
What kind of torches are those?
It's that first edition Maglite.
We keep moving! Stop!
Oh, thanks. This skin-thin fucking robe is gonna help me out here.
That's a huge dramatic view.
We are there.
How did you not see that? Like what?
Well, it's kind of a blizzard.
Oh, okay.
What blizzard? It's a couple of flakes!
True.
Although that's pretty fucking huge. Like, yeah, how did you not see that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, maybe it just revealed itself. I don't know.
This is it. This is where the orcs gathered after Morgoth's defeat.
My hand is past feeling.
It's frostbite.
This place is so evil, our torches give off no warmth.
No, it's actually frostbite, though.
It's colder than the rest.
Well, you got a fucking thermometer?
Yes, that dagger. It's got one on there. Did you see it?
It's a Swiss elven dagger. It's got a thermometer, tweezers, and some scissors.
And a can opener. Gotta have the can opener.
For your leaven bread can.
You've been stabbing your sword and knife into everything, and then you just decide to punch that.
Yeah. So in this, they're kind of like, they make her. In the books, like Galadriel is not a warrior or a leader or an arm. Like she's not portrayed this way in the books. And in this show, they kind of make her out to be this lead, feminine, strong, feminine character. Yeah, exactly. Which again, we both discussed this. We have no problem with this.
It's done right.
Like, yes, exactly. But it's not how she's portrayed in the stories.
But what was their purpose?
Surely it is lost to the ages now.
That's literally all we had.
It's snowing. What do you mean water?
This flame unquenched. Tell the others to rest while they can.
I could smell him getting off the elevator.
Whoever left it could be long dead.
Or lying in wait, gathering strength, perfecting whatever dark art eluded him here.
We exceeded our orders months ago.
She has so many pieces of flair on her outfit.
Well, 15 is the minimum.
I have 15 pieces on.
Well, okay, 15 is the minimum.
So more than, or
every trace of life.
I don't know what this kid, the ginger's name is. He has on 37 pieces of flair and a terrific smile.
Well, like Brian, for example, has 37 pieces of flair on today, okay? A terrific smile.
Oh.
Oh, this guy's dead.
He doesn't even have a name tag on. There's no way he makes this.
And look at you, you haven't even got a name tag. You've got no chance.
Why don't you just lay down? Go on, son.
Why don't you just fall down? Go on, son.
For being a big troll, he's pretty quiet.
It's like Jurassic Park. You ever notice the T-Rex could sneak up on you, but other than you hear him 3 miles away stomping around?
Oh.
Right. I thought they were supposed to be good warriors.
I know. Well, they have to make them suck. So, when she comes in to save the day.
You mean like that?
Yeah. He was just looking for some food.
We should never have come in here.
We leave soon enough.
It's like fucking Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh, usurper.
Then you shall do so alone.
You can do that.
What happens when you don't have leadership skills?
It's a long ass intro.
I was just thinking, I'm like, are we done? Like,
Don't you think it's the least bit strange?
You dogs. Let's just get to the lake before sundown.
That shit looks heavy as fuck.
is that a part of them, or are they just carrying those?
They're carrying them.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So, Harfoots are supposed to be kind of like hobbits. They're more like furlings without the cool powers. from the Stargate.
Yeah.
That's what they remind me of.
No,
They're
the
kind of
Furlings
made
were
up,
kind of
though.
cute, right? You know, they're like bigger Ewoks or something. These guys are just kind of ugly.
Or maybe not. Maybe I'm not thinking Furlings. What's the ones that had the invisible city?
The Nox.
Nox. That's it. Yeah. Sorry, the Nox, not Furlings.
I don't know though. The main chick of the Nox, she was kind of hot.
Low and high and low again.
Yeah,
But the winds are still out there.
I agree.
Please, wisdom, you know
It's a
Nori.
big. Well, they're small too, but yeah, that is a pretty big rabbit.
There's 110 things out here that could kill us.
Like in real filming, that thing was huge. Got Irish accents.
Enchanting.
See, nowadays they just say she was bullying her.
Mm-hmm. Or they. I don't know. They're thieves.
Looks like a footsie.
You heard your sister. Time to go.
Oh no. Come on. First one back.
Please eat the kids. Please eat the kids. Please eat the kids.
Like a spring rain over the bones of a dead animal.
So this is supposed to be Lord Elrond.
Harold Elrond.
Oh.
Appreciate the 2-second heads up though.
Wish to be found.
Just in case you were confused, because it kind of looks like his dick.
She's here. Why didn't you say so?
Obsessed much.
I just did. Much too much.
Obsessed much.
Galadriel.
Elrond.
Lindonelje Kavalisanen.
Did she say with grace I receive?
Mm-hmm.
Ah. Nice.
And look at you now. Commander of the Northern Armies. Warrior of the Wasteland.
Never a thing.
This mark's very existence proves Sauron escaped. He's still out there.
Test him again. You may find him less receptive than you might have hoped.
You'll get the royal backhand. That bitch has got 5 rings. Unity.
After 5 fingers say to the face.
You shall have it.
This guy seems so happy he's like sharpening his knife.
I was about to say, is he going to kill somebody with it, or like?
I know
the
it.
point here?
Oh, that down by the riverbank, did you?
Mm-hmm.
You hear about the travelers?
I get what you say. They're like the Nox.
Yeah, I mean they really like they're like all naturey. You know, they don't shampoo.
The shit in their hair.
Yeah.
You went to the old farm again, didn't you?
I was careful.
I've not noticed any weapons that these people carry
Thank you,
either,
Father.
except for that little knife.
I was like, he's sharpening a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
And a wheel.
I feel like this place is ripe for the picking for this wolf.
Oh, yeah, because even the guy sharpening the knife, he'd last all of 3 seconds.
Yeah. Is she the fucking dealer?
She's got the good
Blackberry
shit.
dealer. Yeah. Let me get some of that blackberries.
I got that forbidden shit.
Most valiant of warriors, kneel here before us.
I thought that was Michael Bolton for a minute.
Washing away the last remnants of our enemy like a spring rain over the bones of a spoilt cox.
Thought he said something.
I thought he said cock.
That's what
I know.
Turn to us.
Nobody likes a spoiled cock. I don't think she likes cock at all, actually.
Of
Maybe she's just had some spoiled ones.
Could be.
Our days of peace begin.
Right. Don't look so happy, douchebag.
And granted passage across the sea to dwell for all eternity in the blessed realm, the far west, the undying lands of Valinor.
Now, at the end of the third original trilogy, is that where they went?
Yes.
They went back home?
That's where Bilbo and Frodo went to the Undying to Valinor, the elven home. Interesting. They carve like, I guess that they're, I don't know if those are tombstones or statues out of the trees.
So it's like in the tree.
Yeah.
Part of it.
Now breathing like an orc.
No.
Conflicted.
She got Tourette's. She just kind of twitched.
What I have seen. Evil does not sleep, Elrond. It waits.
To convince yourself you have done enough, how many more statues would you add to this path?
So do all of them get tree carvings when they die?
I don't know. Maybe only the heroic ones that died in battle, or
the ones that just got killed by a snow troll.
I don't know. If one of them slips on a rock and breaks their neck on a twig, I don't know if they'd get a statue.
Without it, what might it be?
What you have always been. My friend.
With benefits.
Unfortunately, I don't think so. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe
she friend zoned him because she's dining on that elven hair pie.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Tastes like Midsummer's Eve.
Summer's Eve. That's a rebranding for you right there.
Yeah. Give it a few weeks. I'm sure Dylan Mulvaney will be the spokesperson.
Evening.
Cut eyes in 3 moves.
Well, thanks for ruining the game, asshole.
Why does she look familiar?
Oh, yes.
I don't know.
Looks like he's wearing Nightingale armor from Skyrim.
I know.
Where was he from?
When are you people gonna let the past
Well, what
go?
do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Well, he is a black elf.
That's what I mean. You people.
If there is intersectionality in Middle Earth, he hit all the fucking ones. So if he's gay, then he kind of hit all of them.
Pointy boots. Easy, lad. Quench the fire.
No, here is they're trying to hit that. He's black. They're making him repressed.
He still saved him, right? Like he still went and blocked him from getting punched.
Right.
Took the high road.
Where are the white women at?
He's like, oh.
Just the good stuff.
All right. Take it he knows her.
I don't know.
And I hope you find Alfred flowers beautiful.
And the well. How was it? Did you draw some water?
It did get wet.
Mm-hmm.
And you smell of rotten leaves.
It's the new Armani cologne. Rotting leaves.
My point is this. Only twice in known history has a pairing between elves and humans even been attempted, and on each occasion, it ended in tragedy.
He's gonna stay because of her.
Yeah, so I'm assuming he didn't know her. He's been probably drawing from that well a few times.
Been giving her the old Pringles can.
Slip of the old Pringles can.
Mm-hmm.
Taking a last look
The sour cream and onion. She's a potions master.
Can you just say alchemist?
Level 3, though.
Careful. That's fire root powder. You have to do it slowly.
Go any slow, we'll be stuck here all day.
He's only level 2, though.
Hardly slept. Mice were dancing a proper jig under the floorboards.
Again?
Last 3 nights.
A proper jig.
Graping.
Uh-oh.
Couldn't lay some pipe.
It's a plumber.
Heard you.
Call him Mario.
You gotta snake your pipe.
The way my home.
Bam, wow.
Say what you wish to say.
I have said it already. 100 times over, in every way but words.
Mother, there's a man here for you.
Oh, somebody's gonna be jealous.
One count of pure jealousy.
How many doors does she have? What the hell? You didn't see him walking up?
You heal animals too? She's got some sort of a sickness.
Yeah, it's called starvation. I can see her ribs.
What was it? Squirted out of it. How far east? She might have made it as far as Horden.
To be fair, though, I think all cows you can kind of see the ribs on the side.
Yeah.
Hands down. Okay, Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. So that's got me vibes of in the original trilogy, they had the sword that Sauron broke, and he used that to cut off his hand and got the ring.
The Blade of Isildur, yeah.
Yeah.
The Blade of the King, yeah.
Blade to cut the ring. Sauron's hand. Still sharp.
To that end, are you acquainted with the work of Lord Celebrimbor?
The greatest of elven smiths, of course. Why do you ask?
He is about to embark on a new project, one of singular importance.
I believe Celebrimbor was the smith who created the rings.
So at this point, are the rings created?
No. Well, that's not good.
Oh, Dana.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
What kind of time frame are we looking at? Like, how long did it take them to get here?
That's what I'm saying. Some of the things don't quite make sense. Then again, they're technically immortal. Their lives don't... Time doesn't, you know...
Yeah, but what I mean is in comparison to what's going on back in Middle Earth.
Sometimes the lights shine just as brightly reflected in the water as they do in the sky.
Sometimes we cannot know until we have touched the darkness.
Might not have thought that one through.
Yep. Now you're floating in the middle of the... What did it say? The sundering seas?
Yeah. No flotation, no nothing.
It's fine.
God only knows what that asteroid did. You know? Okay, so the girl that was with the elf guy, I had to look it up while we were watching. That's Nora from How I Met Your Mother. That's why I know her. I was like, I knew she looked familiar.
Nora.
Barney dated her for like a while. Like, you know, of course, as soon as he falls in love with her, Robin tries to get him back and all this other stuff. You know, it's a typical woman thing. As soon as she sees a guy happy, you know, now she wants him all of a sudden. Now that he was in love with Nora, but Nora was hot. That's why I was like, why do she look familiar? She hadn't been in a whole lot according to IMDb there, but I looked it up and had to see. So
gotcha.
So
what'd you think?
All right, so that literally is right at an hour-long episode.
Mm-hmm.
For me, now I'm trying to reserve judgment. I know we talked about like you could tell there's certain elements of like they tried to play the racism thing in there. They tried to play the woman power thing, and I'm okay with it. Like it wasn't too in your face, at least in this episode. I can look past all of that. For me, though, for an hour long, it was really slow.
Yes.
Like I felt like we just went through an hour and I don't know shit. Like I still barely know who these characters are. I don't know what's going on. Like, you know, and the thing is, this isn't like Smallville or Arrow where you have 24 episodes in a season. When you're dealing with things like that are on Amazon Prime or any kind of streaming service like Stranger Things, you only get 8 to 10 episodes if you're lucky. Sometimes not even that. Like, I feel like you don't have time for a lot of filler. And it paced so slow for me that I don't know, that was kind of weird to see it drag on.
Yeah, there's a lot of like they want to set stuff up, right? But like they want to introduce characters, and some of them you're familiar with, and some of them you're not. And like the whole Harfoot thing, I could give two shits about. Like I don't even care about it. Like the most interesting thing was Galadriel and maybe the shit that was going down with the village that was on fire. You know, but even then they kind of backed off of it and was just talking. And it it doesn't facilitate the payoff at the end of the episode, in my opinion, of this meteor. And you know, she's struggling with, do I go back and stay, or do I go back and, you know, live forever in Valinor or whatever, or do I still believe that this evil exists? And of course she makes the choice to stay, and she's stuck out in the fucking ocean without any water or food, and it just, there's pieces that are very frustrating when you look at that. Like, well, where's she gonna go? You know, was someone gonna come save her? Is she gonna swim all the fucking way back? Like, and you know, again, the ending there with the meteor was really, I don't know if it's supposed to be Gandalf. I assume it is. And, you know, Gandalf is, I forget the name of what they are. They're like demigods. It begins with an M. I want to say Mithendil or something like that. I can't remember the name of what being they are, but you know, you're supposed to assume that that's Gandalf. So that's all well and good. I kind of agree with you. Like, I don't care about the characters at this point. So, and none of them have been in any real danger.
I don't know what Maiar is, but that's what Gandalf is.
Yeah.
So my thing was like the last 3 minutes of the show, this episode was the most exciting. And really, like, again, for an hour-long episode, I still don't have a lot of backstory about these characters and what's going on. Like, there were so many parts, like the going out and picking the berries thing. That was a long scene that got you nothing. in my opinion. At least now, maybe it's referenced a little bit later on, but like, there's a lot of wasted time in an episode. Again, when you're dealing with something that's going to be 8 episodes long, you're trying to cover this whole story. And I'm like, we just spent 15 minutes watching them pick berries and do kind of stupid things where I'm like, it needed to kind of pick up pace or at least go more in depth into backstory. Because if you've not watched or read the books, watched like the Hobbit, stuff like that, you're gonna absolutely know nothing about what's going on and who these people are. And it didn't go into in-depth backstory for as slow as it was. So it's kind of like, it was the worst of both worlds for me. If you're gonna be that slow pacing, I should at least know everything about, or a good chunk. If you're introducing this many main characters, I'm assuming maybe they're all going to come together for something at some point.
I don't know.
I mean, at least have different sections of story that are going on that will tie in together.
Yeah, it would. I mean, also too, like, what'd you think of like the CGI and the acting? Because keep in mind too, the first season is costing them $462 million. $462 million for the first season alone.
Setting wise, like backgrounds, similar to like the Lord of the Rings movies, I thought they did well with like the background shots look great, but those aren't expensive, right? I could do. I mean, hell, I've got the freaking Bilbo's house behind me, and it looks like I'm sitting in there, right? It's not that difficult, to put that in the background, right? So like those aren't. I don't want to say that those scenery shots were, oh my god, amazing. Like they didn't make that entire village, like so. Like okay, that was, it looked good, but yeah, I mean that's obviously not a cost winner. I mean, I thought it was shot well, but as far as the overall CG, it's nothing different than I wouldn't see on a normal show. Like maybe a little bit higher budget than like a CW show. But like if you've watched, which I don't think you have, and I know we want to get to it on the channel, watching Superman and Lois, that's a CW show, but it's backed with HBO Max money. Like they actually put money into the show. I'd put it in par with that, right? So it's better CGI and stuff than a normal television show that you would see on a network like CW or something. But I mean, if you're telling me that and something similar you paid $400 million for.
Yeah, 462 million. Let me hold on. 462.
Well, no, I get like there's 8 episodes.
Yeah, there's 8, so about 57 million an episode if you want to take it over.
Okay, and I get like, and here's the other thing too. When you thought about like Game of Thrones, yeah, I mean they were paying $500,000 an episode to most of the big name actors. I know Maisie Williams, especially towards the latter seasons, was making that. Peter Dinklage, all of the that's the only 2 I can just name offhand real quick. But all of like the main, Sansa's character, all of them were basically getting like $500,000 an episode. So when you have a lot of bigger names, I could see, yeah, you paid a lot of per episode,
right?
Because you paid a lot in just casting. But realistically, most of those people in there were kind of no names. Like they weren't real big actors and actresses names to say that that's where a lot of your budget went to spend $57 million an episode.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't terrible. I mean, in this episode at least, the CG was okay. I feel like they could have done quite the same with way less spending on it. And I don't know the logistics.
I want to see an itemized billing with this season. Like,
yeah, I don't want to see an audit
where, like, all of a sudden you spent $18,000 on this one little prop that just sat there. Like, did you really spend that?
Yeah,
somebody skim off the top.
And who knows too? Again, maybe that also includes the rights. The money that they paid the Tolkien estate for the rights to make for the stories. Because realistically, from what I remember reading, this show is really the appendices of Lord of the Rings. Like that's what they're allowed to use. They're not allowed to use any of the characters that are not in the appendices, according to from what I remember. So there's a lot of they're very, I don't want to say generous, but they're very, they put a lot of fluff, Hollywood fluff, in story filler because they're not allowed to particularly use the characters and the storylines from the Silmarillion or the Lord of the Rings. So it's kind of, they're skirting the line to make it as good as they can.
What this kind of felt to me was like season 8 of Game of Thrones. And the first 7 had gone with the books.
Mm-hmm.
They'd gone and it followed very well. You could tell the writing was well because they had a good basis, right? Like you didn't have to have people coming up with story. They were just going by the books, right? And then on season 8, they kind of were flying by the seat of their pants. That book wasn't written. They're just like, hey, and then everybody fucking hates it. Like everybody's like, this is just, it's such a contrast to what the other seasons that were very, very good were. I kind of feel like in comparison, and now again, we're only one episode in, I'm not going to judge it too quickly, but in comparison, I felt like this is similar, right? Like you watch the Lord of the Rings movies, and I've read it's funny because I watched those movies, but I've not seen the new ones, but I read the Hobbit book. Very well written stories out, and then you kind of watch this, and I'm like, all right, well, you could definitely tell this wasn't written by the same person.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Like this was a completely different tone and pacing, everything. So
the storytelling's not there. In my opinion, I agree. It's like, this is just my thing again. And it's kind of unfair to an extent. Because they don't have the rights to the original stories and stuff, they're having to make up a lot of the fluff and filler stuff on their own. And you're trying to compare that to like a master storyteller like Tolkien, who wrote all of the original work, and it's like it's night and day. You know what I mean? Like the details, the storylines, the stuff that they're going through it's not the same. It's not close. But again, I don't know. Maybe you'll like where this season goes. And I kind of agree with you, at least on this first episode. It's kind of it's just kind of an hour of nothing. I feel like they could have summed up all of this in 20 minutes, all the good stuff, at least.
Because my thing is, like, for a first episode especially, we just watched the first episode of Reacher. It was the last thing we watched on the channel here. There was a lot going on in that episode. Some you'd almost say, like, I won't say too much, but it was enough to keep you engaged, right? Because that's what a first episode should do. Especially again when you're talking short seasons, it really needs to capture you. And then if you want to make the next couple slow, fine. And usually you do like backstory and flashbacks and stuff. That's fine. But for a first episode, I needed it to be a little more engaged.
There was like 40 minutes of talking. I feel like, right?
But it was also dialogue about not a lot, right? It was kind of like they kept saying the same things over there, talking about this girl and her, taking over the mission of her brother. I mean, they must have said that like 18 times. I'm like, okay, we get it. You made that very clear to everybody in the whole show, even the little halfling people. They probably know you're taking over this mission from your brother. Fine, great. You know what? Like, maybe not get on the boat then, because then you just jumped off in the middle of the ocean. Okay, so clearly you're conflicted and you don't know which way you're going. But like, you could have summed that. Like, we needed the music like at the Oscars when speech is going on a little too long. Let's wrap it up a little bit here.
Get them off the stage,
yeah. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. I'm curious to kind of, I don't want to look up any more details. I just looked up Nora just because it was bugging me. But it'd be interesting to see where it goes, especially now knowing they spent that much money on this.
I mean, the CGI that gets a little bit more embellished. I mean, it doesn't look horrible. It doesn't look like Wonder Woman 84, but the amount of money that they spent is just staggering to me to what they produced. And it's just crazy. But we'll see. We'll see. You may end up liking it. Who knows?
Like, I would be okay on Wonder Woman 84 if like it was like a CGI budget of like $150. And they said, this is the best, because I'm like, we will watch Smallville not too long ago on the channel here, and I was going back and editing it, the part where the ship's coming in and you were like saying how it looked like Metroid, how like
Yeah.
well, okay, that was 22 years ago, right? And I'm
Right,
like
right,
Wonder
right.
Woman 84. I was like, your CGI is looking about the same, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That oh gosh, someone phoned it in at the end of that one.
That's somebody who just did not want to be on that project, right? Was not liking where
Has
it's
to
going.
be.
It's just like, you know what? Like, I've got 2 days to get this project in. I'm gonna go ahead and just knock this out real quick. Put no effort into that CG at all.
Yeah.
So, spoiler alert for everybody out here: we are probably not going to watch Wonder Woman 1984 on this channel. So, if you're looking for that reaction, I would not hold my breath on that. Just
I
because.
don't know if you could pay me to watch it again. Honestly, I don't know. You probably could. Depending on how many subscribers we get, I may watch it again.
Okay, if we have enough subscribers and people say, "Hey, we want you to watch Wonder Woman 1984 and Captain Marvel again," because those are two, like, you got DC and a Marvel movie that I don't want to watch ever again. Like, I own all of the other Marvel movies. I own all the other DC movies. I do not own those two movies. Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to. It may. I don't know. Maybe take a lot of drinking to get through those two. Oof. Whew. Yeah.
Both pretty rough. Yeah, I would definitely say.
All right. Well, yeah, that's all
I will
we got.
say, interesting to see where this goes. We'll see if you know how episode 2 of it goes. I will say for everybody watching, if you like this reaction and you want to see the full length reaction, you're kind of SOL because we don't have a Patreon set up and we don't have all that set where you can go watch it. And honestly, like, half of it's going to be us just staring at the screen because I've not seen this before. So you don't want to see that stuff anyways because it's boring.
I don't know why you would want to see that. Yeah.
It kills me. I'm sorry. Maybe it's because I'm new to this whole YouTube, social media kind of stuff. But like, why do I want to see your full length reaction? Like, some of the stuff that's in there is not like the most riveting reactions. Like, you know, because you're watching stuff like this, where you're watching an episode an hour long that's pretty slow pacing, right? Like, oh my god, like, why would you want to see my full length reaction to it? Most of it's could be me sitting here doing this. You know, so yeah, like, there's a reason I cut it out in the editing process, so you're not going to want to see that anyway. So yeah, you don't have to worry about a Patreon and going to see them, but a like and a subscribe would be appreciated. We always throw it in at the end of the video because, you know, maybe you just didn't even like the show and you didn't want to watch our full reaction to this. This is I'm going to cut this down quite a bit, but, you know, this is a long, like I said, this is literally an hour-long episode. So,
long one.
If you stayed with us to the end and you liked what you saw, definitely give us a like. Leave some comments down below. Let us know what you think about the show. And also, if there's something else you'd like to see us react to.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know all the Tolkien crap we got wrong. So I'm sure there's a bunch of it.
All right, guys. So stay tuned for the next one. I think we're going to have some Superman and Lois come up. Not sure yet. But definitely kind of kicking back into the old DC side of things there, and maybe then we'll throw in some Marvel stuff. Until then, for the Steps on a Krypton, we'll see you guys, and thanks for watching.
Later.
See you.